evening, everyone, and welcome. No, I can't do it like that. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Freeman Pod here on the J Free 906 Pod. I thought I'd do it a little differently tonight.
One of the Twilight Zone or what?
Right? I thought of Vincent Price right away.
Tom and Seth, how you guys doing tonight?
Well, up until now, I was doing pretty good.
Right? I thought I was having a normal evening. Now I'm in a Twilight Zone. I'm good.
Picture
you guys.
Yeah, so we got something a little different happening here tonight. I'm trying it. Any of you that are go on to the Ghost of Bacon, Jake Roberts' site, which is very good, by the way, and watch his podcast that he done, the Ghost of Bacon on YouTube. Really, really good stuff. But he tried last time he was on, he tried doing the vertical and the horizontal. It's a new thing that YouTube has, and StreamYard allows us to do it too. So I've got the both going tonight, the horizontal and the vertical. I don't know. We'll see how it works out for you guys. I have no idea what this is doing out in the viewer world. So let me know if you don't mind. Let me know if you're watching on your phone and is a vertical look okay, or would you just prefer this? I don't know, the way it was before better. I don't know. Let me know what you think out there in the chat if you would tonight. Let's see. Also, let's see. We have a giveaway tonight. Again, I'll show the picture of that here real quick. And that is this right here, Mr. You don't get Tony Sampson, but you get the bag. And you get the mug that he's holding right there, Salty Dog Sea Tours, and that's a signed bag from him from Oak Island Con 2025. We'll be giving those away to a little bit later tonight as we get to that point. And let's see, I have something else that I wanted to share before we get started. So speaking of Oak Island Con 2026. If you didn't get your ticket yet, too bad. It's all sold out. No, it's all sold out. We sold out the entire thing in a week. So I was really impressed by that. I couldn't believe that it went so quickly, but yeah, we sold out in a week. So looking funky. Oh, too small. Dan says, I thought we got Tony. No. Oh, it's tiny. Okay. Well, all right. So maybe we, I see.
A lot of votes against it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm looking at it now over here. I can see both, but anyway, we'll try it. See, but let me know if you really don't like it. Then how to turn off the vertical? I don't know. I mean, you can log out and log into the other one, I suppose. I'm not sure how that works, but anyway. So we are sold out on Oak Island Con 2026 for June 25th, 26th, and 27th. Yeah, so. I tell you, if you still wanted to go, if there's anybody out there that still was kind of on the fence of whether or not you wanted to go to it, it's going to be a lot of fun. We will have a waiting list possibly. So if you really wanted to get there and send us an email, either myself, Lorraine, I can put that up here real quick, or Tony. It's these right here. And let us know, and we'll get you on a waiting list for it, and see if possibly things change here in the future. But yeah, we were surprised to sell out the entire thing. Now, for those of you who have already registered and you got your code and you're thinking about whether or not you want to get a room at the Oak Island Resort, those rooms are almost sold out as well. So if you're still on the fence about whether or not you are going to stay there, or if you already got accommodation somewhere else, then good. But if you haven't, then yeah, those rooms are almost. They had a block of rooms that they had saved for the attendees, and those are almost gone. There's a couple left, so you may want to move on that. But if you and that's if you don't get the promo code and all that unless to get a better price, unless you have the tickets for the or reservations for the Oak Island convention. So, but amazingly, yeah, it's sold out that quick in a week. So we're really happy about that. But stay tuned as we go along here. Let's see if and again, thank you folks for joining us here tonight. We appreciate it very, very much. And I wanted to say, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'd appreciate that. And if you like the content of the show we do here for you tonight, consider giving us a thumbs up. We are going to be talking about The Curse of Oak Island, season 13, episode number 5. Keep on rocking. So you guys ready to get started with this, or what do you think?
I called it having a blast, but anyway.
I like what they said at the end of the war room. They were talking about it, and I think it was Laird said something. It caught him off guard, dude. He said something about a smoking gun. All we need is a smoking gun. They're like, well, there's one right on the table. Well, it wasn't smoking, but
I was surprised they didn't take that and air it with the show called Smoking Gun, but that would have been too on the nose, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, I'm just reading what he says. It looks weird. Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I guess I won't do this next week then. I don't know how to turn it off now once you started it. So I'm sorry with the vertical and the horizontal. We have to leave it for tonight. So sorry. Bear with us.
Work through it.
Yep, we'll work through it. All right, so let's get started, shall we? All right, Curse of Oak Island. Here we go. Whoops, that's not the first picture I wanted, was it? Oh, I know what I did wrong. Hold on. Oh, yeah, it is.
Well, you got some pictures tonight, do you? Huh?
I do have a couple pictures, yeah, and I wanted to share those with you guys tonight. Starting off in the money pit. Borehole G4.5. They're kind of working their way around TOT1 that is in the ground.
It's like they're going to circle it, right?
Yeah, they have been. They've been going all the way around it. And let me get my pointer. It's not showing up for me. There it goes. All right. Yeah, TOT1 sits roughly there. So they're kind of working their way around it, but they're staying within the solution channel as they do their work here on this. But something that I wanted to say too is that next week we have a special guest going to join us for a little while. You've heard me mention this a couple of times as we talk about the solution channel and where it goes. How big is it? Because that's something that we will talk about here in a bit, but Marty was very adamant about is defining the solution channel. And so I think they got a good idea of where it goes and all of that, but we're going to be joined next week by Jeremy Church. Jeremy Church owns a company called Panther Geoscience, and him and Burton Cosgrove are the two guys that came out and did the seismic survey on the island, and they did all those explosions and got a good look at what was underneath the money pit and actually in the swamp as well. And so he's going to join us next week. And Zig, I'm going to show him your pictures too, because Zig Zane, because those are really cool. The diagrams that you have created. So, but we're going to have Jeremy Church here with us, and he's going to bring some stuff with him as well. And so we'll get his perspective of what's going on under the ground in regards to open cavities and this solution channel. So hope you guys will join us for that. Okay, so moving along here. So G4.5, initially they brought up this, something different. Oh, we lost Seth there, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. There he is. Hey, Seth. Are you all right? He's frozen.
Yep.
All right. Well, there he is. Oh, he's moving a little bit.
You there? Not there? Hello.
I fell in the money pit.
He fell in the money pit. Yeah. That was funny because I was talking to Tom about that earlier about the money pit, and it's so much. I'm hoping that at some point it doesn't turn into a giant sinkhole and collapse.
Yeah,
because it's in the integrity of that thing is really pretty bad now, I would think. Ghost of Seth. So this was the tail end of the last 20 feet that they brought up from G4.5. And it was bigger. Okay, cool. And you heard Terry Matheson say when he was looking at it that this was not the type of material that they were expecting to see at that level. How far did they go down on that one, Tom? Was it
206 to 208?
206 to 208, yeah. So, and they had originally said something they were going to try and get down to 212, but they go 206 to 206 hit the bedrock, and then 208 into the bedrock about 2 feet. And they brought that up, but it was really kind of it wasn't that slurry, that mud slurry that they.
Yeah, you want that soupy stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's solid, I don't know. I mean, if that was sediment, I mean, would it look different? I guess probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking that if anything's fallen down there over time, it's built sediment up around it. So
Absolutely.
Just not soupy enough for them, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Well, they still ran the pinpointer over it, and I noticed that they decided to take it over to this table. And I know that this table is sitting there with no nails in it. You can see it sitting on blocks of wood, because you see him do it. Charles does it on the table all the time, runs a pinpointer over it. And then when they get a hit, they pick up the bag off the ground, off the table, and then check it again, which is the right thing to do. They ran the pinpointer over it. Marty did. And Marty was pretty excited about this. You heard him say that this was the target zone, that he was really interested, down there around TOT1. They ran the pinpointer over it. They looked through all the dirt and everything that was in there, and they got nothing. There was nothing there at all, which was rather disappointing, I thought, again. But there's more boreholes to come, and they're going to be making their way, as Tom and I and Seth had talked before about, making their way towards the garden shaft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Treasure Central just might not be where they thought it was.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the blob is, and the golden nugget. Oh, dang! Oh,
there you are. You're back, and you're gone.
I know the feeling, Seth.
Oh, you're back and forth, Seth.
I know the feeling.
Oh, yep. His internet connection's not the best tonight. So, hi, Darlene Doogie from Nova Scotia. How you doing? See her pop in there. But you seen the look on Rick's face. I mean, he, this expression right here, as soon as they found nothing and then everything, and he was just like, so disappointed on all of this. Yeah. And then you saw this scene here, and this was interesting. They probably normally wouldn't show something like this, I wouldn't think, but Marty goes looking for Rick, and he finds him sitting on a pile, down looking out into the ocean to Smith's Cove, and he had to come out there and talk to him a little bit. And we kind of expressed this a little bit before about, or I did, talking about, the things of looking for a treasure, and we wanted to see exactly what they go through each and every day on the island, the high points, the low points. I thought it was honest. I did too. I really did too, Sharon. I did not take this as being sensational or they're made for TV moment or whatever. You guys get that impression either?
No, I mean, the camera guys were there, but they're following them around all the time anyway. They're mic'd up all day long.
Yep. Yeah, they really are. So that's the situation there. And so you're going to see those highs and lows all throughout the season. And Rick had said something in here about the fact that let's see, the more I wrote this down too, but anyway, the sense of it was they were kind of down about it, but the fact that Marty Steele, and this was a role reversal for these two guys.
Exactly.
Generally it's Marty that gets down about stuff, and sometimes he's gotten downright upset. And then Rick is the one that brings them back, and here they are going the opposite direction this time.
I thought exactly the same thing, because Marty says, don't forget, the theory makes sense.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So Marty's totally bought in based on science.
Yeah, he has.
Yep. I think sometimes he puts a little too much faith in this Pit-Blado coin thing, but
yeah,
I think overall he's bought in based strictly on the science.
Yeah, I feel like it reminds me, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with a good partner. And I feel like the partnership of the brothers is so important, because there's so many moments that along the way Marty would have given up and gone home, and we wouldn't have this show. But Rick was there to no, here's why I still believe. And now we're seeing, that the duality and that, here's Rick forlorn and Marty's the one that's like, I'm more optimistic than ever. So it's I like moments like this, and like you said, it feels honest, and we're here along for the whole the fellowship is the treasure just as much as the real treasure. Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
No. You think back to how many years ago Marty would look across the war room table and go, "Can we put an X through the swamp now?"
Yeah.
Yeah. For real.
Or an X through 10X. No, you cannot.
No, never 10X. Ever.
No, not ever. But see, that's exactly it. And the things that Marty was talking about here, the fact that they had hit what they believed was the chapel vault years ago, and then they had that big collapse that took place, and it was well documented, this collapse that they heard and everything that was going on. The fact that they have had a couple of collapses, the one that Ian heard, and then there's been other things going on where they feel like they had pushed when they went down with that one case on, I can't remember which one it was, but they figured they were going down, and they actually got onto the edge of the chapel vault and pushed it down.
Yeah.
With all that going on, if the treasure still exists in the money pit, which he believes it does, and the water testing says it does, then it has to be down there someplace. And you heard Rick say, is it out of reach now? Is it gone? Is it out of reach? And Marty brought him back saying, look, we still have the science telling us that it's there. We have a story that is very plausible, saying that it fell into and collapsed into an area. He feels very optimistic that story tells him, keep going. You're going to find it. If it's just a matter of time before it. And you think about all the caissons and the boreholes and everything they have done, they've simply think, could they possibly have missed it? And you have talked about that before.
Absolutely. I mean, they said this season alone, they've only explored less than 5% of the actual solutions channel.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Because they never went down that deep before. So,
lots of room down there. Lots of room.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. So here's another little tidbit. And Tom and I, we're always looking for this kind of stuff. Here we got a little information about time frame about what's happening on the show as of now. It may not seem important to the guys on the show or the production company or anything like that. It may not seem important to them that we follow a particular timeline for us viewers, that we know when certain things are happening. But it is, to me, it is kind of important. I like to know when this is happening throughout the filming season. And here you see the first thing I saw, and I noticed this right off the bat, as soon as they showed the picture of the money pit, I'm like, oh, look, the crane is there. And you see it showing up back there. You see it right there. And when did the crane show up on the island?
Yeah. Thanks to Karen at Oak Island, the other side of the causeway.
Yep. Thanks to Karen Public Cover, we know that the crane showed up on July 8th. So that puts us right into that July time frame. So that's good. I like knowing that. And there was another confirmation of the time a little later as well. So, but again,
this just sets the timeline where we are in the season, right? So exactly. I mean, they're into July, so you've still got 1st of August, 1st of September, 1st of October. You've still got 3 months worth of exploration going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and the foliage, like Kat says, is full summer. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Seth, don't worry about it. You got an internet issue. It's not a big deal. Just come and go as you please. All right. So we're going to jump over now to the swamp. Things in the money pit all done. They're going to start a new borehole, next week. So we'll get to see that. But let's jump over to the swamp. And this is getting pretty interesting. One of the things that I notice about this when they're working in the swamp area over here is all the stone. I mean, they haven't really said too much about all the rock, all the stone that's underneath. You see how Billy Gerhardt is taking the excavator and he's just skimming all the vegetation off. He's not going deep.
Yeah.
He's just skimming the vegetation off. And I'm seeing rocks all over underneath that. I mean, is it another platform? I don't know. I don't even know if they're all going to get to that point where we get to see that. But then there was this, and they were talking about a corduroy road.
Yep.
Tom, you've seen those up.
Oh yeah, corduroy roads have been in use since like 1600 something. I forget the exact dates, but anyway, they were pretty commonly used in marshy, swampy areas. Probably actually in modern day logging operations, they're still used today. Get the big machines in and out of the woods. But the thing about the rocks along the edge of that bog, and I believe Rick calls it correctly, a bog now. I think technically they're not in a swamp anymore; they're in a bog.
I agree.
That whole shore, if that was open to the ocean at one time, and if we presume that the swamp is man-made or not man-made, it doesn't matter. But if that's open to the ocean at one point, that whole edge of that drumlin is going to be covered with shoreline rocks.
That's what I thought when you noted that right away. I thought, well, that was, would have been an open shore, and that would have just been a rocky beachfront.
The thing that messes it up for me is even on a shoreline, they're not level. Like you don't create a level platform. They're downward sloping. I still think they're into something that's been manipulated. It could have just been for a roadway along the edge of a swamp.
Yep.
Supported by log cribbing.
It's interesting that it's on the exact opposite side of the stone platform, and to try and think, why would they have two stone? Is it like, is it dumb to think that there may have been a bridge there?
Or an inlet?
Platforms for a bridge or an inlet? Yeah, I guess you would need platforms on both sides.
I don't know.
I mean, it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird,
to say the least.
And if they were two islands, both islands would have ramps or roadways or whatever off each one.
Yeah.
So
even if the north end of the swamp was always connected and the south end of the swamp was open to the sea and eventually filled in with sediment and everything, and we created a swamp, maybe at that point, an inlet. Yeah, like Brian is saying there. That's what I'm going for, is like some sort of an inlet. Do we know that? No, we have no idea. But it kind of seems like maybe it was, and it just built up. And you'd have like areas of access on both sides of the inlet, like a little.
Once you cut off that water flow, direct water flow between between the eastern and the western drumlin, whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
Once you cut off that water flow, sediment's automatic. It's going to build.
Yeah. There you go. The only other thing that I thought about with these, and a corduroy road is very distinct, and I've seen those used in Michigan as well, up in the UP, when they are putting in power lines and stuff out going through a lot of swampy areas in the UP of Michigan. And they would use those, they'd use old railroad ties in many cases, where they would lay the ties all and make a road that you just drive on the ties. So should be marks in the wood from wheels or sleds or
if they were on top, yes. If they were constructed in a similar manner to the what we thought was the Portuguese pathway or roadway that was covered with sod.
Right. Yeah.
So both things could be true. Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing that I thought of about this was that possible that you had talked last week about those stakes, the wood stakes, a stockpile of logs to be used as wood stakes. Is that I was thinking that maybe it was a pile, and it just got spread out over storms and stuff over the years, and it was no longer more a pile of logs. It was spread out. So that's the only other thing I thought. Why would they all be there? So
and we know they're just not storm blown in. They were actually cut off. They get the cut ends on them. So.
Yeah, you can see it right on that one right there. You can see the end of it right there, cut right off. And they said both ends. Actually, you can see this end right here too, cut right off. So.
Yeah, they found multiple logs in there. So was it where they were stockpiling the logs to turn them into stakes?
Yeah. Yep. But interesting nonetheless. I mean, it shows man activity, happening in there. So there you got where the corduroy road is, way back over here, which would be leading you from the swampy area out of the swampy area, probably something like that. And here's where I took this picture because of the rocks. Here's those stones. You see one there. Here's one in the foreground right here. They're standing on them. They're all over the place. Like, and that's why I was really curious to see if they ever do get this all cleared off. Was it some sort of a platform like the other ones, like the other one on the other side directly across? I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll get a good look at this as they go along. Derek Couch on the scene. We see him a little bit later. I think he's actually working the wash plant later in the season, but we found out he was part of the Oak Island tours that was brought in, and there he is also getting to help out with the Fellowship of the Dig. So, wow, how great is that, right?
Very
nice to have that happen. I wanted to point this out right here. People asked this last night. We were in Discord watching the, we all watch the show and then we we talk about it during the commercials. But Gary, he finds this piece of coal or charcoal right here. And when he was swinging his metal detector, it was like beep, 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 beep. And then he goes, "Oh, what's this?" And he picks up that piece of charcoal. I think, folks, that this is one of those times when editing decided to put some beeps in there for the heck of it, because charcoal does not show up on it with a metal detector. It does not beep. It's not metal. It doesn't show up with a metal detector. You can't detect it. So either he pulled that out because he was getting a hit on something else, and we never saw him pull the metal thing out of the ground, or they edited in the beeps.
Well, did you notice at one point in time he was swinging it and he goes, "No, iron nail." And he just goes right on by it.
Yeah.
So this could be another one of those cases where he had a beep and he just happened to look down and he saw it.
Yeah, could be. But yeah, so charcoal does not set off a metal detector. Just so you know that going in. But he did find this charcoal, and then they found another piece of it here that Doug is looking at. So, or Derek, I'm sorry. So pretty interesting. Now, we know that they found charcoal over on the Stone Road in the southeast corner of the swamp. And where else did they found some elsewhere in the swamp too? Was it at the platform? I don't recall.
Can't remember.
But I know that they did, and I thought they said that was dated back to the 1472, I think is what Marty had said. That the I wrote it down here. We synopsis is right. Yeah, 1472, I believe it was, is that charcoal was dated before that they found over on the Stone Road. So that's old. And we go back to that whole thing of why so old would there be, why so long ago would there be charcoal found on the island? We go back to that whole thing talking about the multi-generational use of the island. The things that are being found, like that gun, that handgun or hand cannon, and this charcoal, things like that, the dating of the platform and all that going back to the 1200s. There was it in my mind. I have no doubt in my mind that there was an operation happening on this island back around that time frame.
Yep, I agree.
Could they have been burning stuff if it was an inlet? Could they have been having fires on those platforms for fishing, like with the fishing weirs that Tom had showed?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because I was trying to think of why. Like, it seems like charcoal on both sides around these platforms. Anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, the dating is wild, and this whole the swamp, just like Lot 5, the swamp is so key to proving the multi-generational use. From the road to the charcoal to the vault to all these, everything, from the fact that it was once an inlet, now it's not. So, we used to, way back in the day, it was like conspiracy theory to say that the swamp was man-made. Mm-hmm. Now it seems, on the side of science to say that.
Yeah, that it could actually possibly be. Yeah, I agree. It's just, again, and here's another, he does get some metal detection hits. Gary does. He does get a couple, and then you have Derek doing the shoveling for him, and it's hard digging. I mean, it's rocks everywhere. He has a hard time even getting it in there. Here he is still struggling trying to get the shovel in there, and they found this piece. which was pretty interesting. And I thought, Gary came up with a buckle. He thought on the second look at it, when Rick and them came out, he thought maybe it was some sort of a buckle. I was thinking this edge right here, right across here, looks like it's worn here and here. So whatever it was had something wrapped around right there, or like a latch. That's what I thought, Jan.
Latch, yep. Makes
I was
sense.
thinking some sort of a latch, a toy
Oh,
penguin.
right. I see that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I thought maybe some sort of a latch, but you can see this right here, this thing going by. And I think it had, but it also kind of looks like it had one on this side that's not quite as worn. I don't know. It would be good I can't wait to see the analysis of this if we ever do. But I think that would be good to see.
It'd be nice to get an X-ray of it to see what that downward sloping bar is.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. And then they find this like an iron needle. That was a good find with a metal detector. I would have thought that Gary would have had the same thought about this as he did the nail. Oh, it's just a small nail, but yet he dug this thing out. He skipped over the nail.
Well, now we know what. Yeah, now we know what they were sewing all those.
Nope, he froze again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to move on. We don't know when he's coming back. Part of a rifle mechanism? Maybe. Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Oh, you froze, so we didn't hear what you said there. You were completely.
Oh, I said now we know what they used to sew all those buttons back on with.
The buttons they've been losing everywhere.
Yeah.
Or why they kept losing their buttons because they couldn't find a needle.
Yeah, exactly. They lost their needle.
What did Gary say? Needle in a clay stack?
Mm.
Yep. Here's where Rick and Marty came out to have a look, and that's when he was looking at it again, saying it looked like some sort of a piece of maybe a buckle to him. And then, of course, where did he go? A buckle on a chest, on a treasure chest or something. Yeah. But anyway, we'll and again, I would like to see what the analysis approves of that thing. All right. So next we jump over to the lab, and they're going to go through this hand cannon. They're going to get a good look at this thing. I tell you, folks, this is one of those things where, and I made tonight's thumbnail, showing this picture right here of the hand cannon, because this is one of those finds that is amazing and baffling all at the same time to me. First of all, I never had heard of a hand cannon like that. Something that was used in that manner. You'd pack it and, use your wadding and stuff like that to put your little whatever kind of projectile you stuffed in there, and then light it through that little hole in the side. But I mean, this thing turned out to be an amazing find, in my opinion. I'm just here's one that's whole. Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that's incredible to find something that they're going to date back to be that old.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they stopped using them, you were 200 years before the money pit. That's just incredible. How did it get there? I don't know how it got there, whether it came in on a shipwreck or a boat or something like that, but it got there somehow.
Yeah.
200 years before the money pit.
Yeah, 200 years before the money pit. At least 200 years. And so when Emma did the analysis on it, and she had come back with it saying that it was pre-1700s. Yes, definitely pre-1700s. Could it go back even further? Yes, because these things, according to, and we'll get to that here in just a minute, go back much further than that. So we have the analysis of it here a little bit, and again, this is information that kind of goes over my head, but tells Emma and the team what basically the date range of it based upon its material makeup, what's in it, manganese and all that sort of thing. They did find through the CT scan, and you heard Rick say, and he never appreciated the CT scan so much before, because it shows this little hole in it, which
paid for now.
Yeah, definitely. this little hole definitely makes it, yes, a predecessor to the pistol. Yes, Ned, that's exactly right. So this little hole is the fire hole, and they showed that on there. You put your torch up to it or your light or whatever up to that hole, and ignites the gunpowder you packed inside. And
Doesn't seem like a fun thing to do.
No. Can you imagine hanging on to that thing?
Nope.
It had
Not
to be
in a million years.
Not so, especially this small. I mean, it would almost come out of your hand, depending on how much gunpowder you
Even
put
if they
in
put
that
it on
thing.
one of those sticks that they held up like this,
Yeah.
and you can blow this thing up in front of your face, I don't think so.
No.
I want to fire one. See, I am that stupid. I want to shoot one. I want to see what it sounds like and how it feels. Like, it's interesting they had them on the ends of those long spears. So imagine, because the last episode, I feel like they showed them more as like a pistol style, and there was like, horseback cavalry knights with the single shot pistols. So this episode, they were presented more as like on the end of a long spear, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I want to shoot
be a little
that.
safer.
Yeah, right. And then you kind of, I guess you put your hand up there, and then it's like a giant, what do you call it, Roman candle or firecracker?
Yeah. Yep. Let it shoot out the end. Yeah.
Did you ever shoot those at your friends?
Not those, but we used to make tin cannons back in the day.
Oh, cool.
When the cans were actually tin and not aluminum like today, we'd cut the ends out and make a cannon out of them and shoot tennis balls, which was always pretty fun. And by the same concept, put a little hole in this end and lighter fluid inside and light it, boom, off it went. But this thing would have a kick on it, I would think, because it looks like you could pack in quite a bit of. And somebody mentioned in the chat too, talking about the cracks in it. I would be afraid, especially if it was old, to be using this, after a long period of time, because of the chances that it is starting to crack and explode on you. I mean, the shrapnel coming off that
may be why it was discarded.
That may be why it's discarded. Exactly, because you see the end of it is all boogered up, right? I mean,
by some pirate named Two-Fingered Luke.
and it blew up their pouch of Roman coins, and it got scattered around that area.
Yes, there you go. And he got mad and he threw it with his other hand. But yeah, look how it's broken right there. I don't, maybe it corroded that way, but man, Two-Fingered Luke. But yeah, I dangerous tool. Yeah, look for that.
I mean, regardless, it's iron. It somehow wound up on Oak Island. I'm going to say roughly at least 200 years before they stopped making, or 200 years after they stopped making them.
Right.
So regardless of how it got there, historically, it's important.
It is very important. And again, this is one of those amazing yet baffling finds. That just, crazy. So we got looking, as and this was pretty easy to spot for a lot of people, if you're paying attention. But they had this laying on the table, right here, and you look there and you're like, huh?
Look, what the heck is that?
What is that? There's the hand cannon. What's that other thing laying there?
So that's something they found that they haven't told us about?
I don't know.
I mean, it looks the right size.
Yeah, it does.
For one of these hand cannons.
Yeah, and if you look at the end of it over here on this end, right here, it's got that little protrusion on the end of it there, and this would be I would assume, be the open barrel end. I don't know. I mean, I can't see the end.
It's obviously hollow. You can see the hole in it, so it's hollow.
Yeah, there's a big hole in it. Let me get back to my pointer. I'll zoom in here. I mean, as we found out, you cannot dismiss evidence just because it's uncomfortable. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good, Coach. You're exactly right. Hand howitzer. Yeah. That'd be more like a howitzer. This thing, that's much bigger. I could see this one on a stick, but I mean,
it's quite a find. That's historically, it's significant. It's got to be.
Yeah.
What
the heck is that?
Doesn't matter how it got there. It's there.
Well, Exactly. And will this other piece come out in another show at some point? Don't know. And they didn't mention it there. So very interesting in that
What
respect.
they had it there for, my guess is they had it there for comparison purposes, or they found another one. That's the only two things it could be, in my opinion.
Yeah. A medieval silencer. Yeah. Yeah, but and again, now we're going to jump right over. I'm just going to keep rambling right on here and go right into the war room, because where they did the looking at this thing again, there's everybody at the table, including Jack is back, Jack Bagley, on the show for the first time this season. There's Jack, doing okay, looking good. Glad he's there. But yeah, so there it is there on the table. And they decided to get a hold of this gentleman here, Matthew Belzen, who is the military historian. He's the gentleman that they met over in Malta when they were there. And he was taking a look at this, and they sent them their analysis of it and the data that Emma had collected to get his opinion. And the hand cannon, he says, emerged in the 1200s. And they stopped using them in the 15th century or so, the late 1400s, maybe just into the 1500s, they stopped using them and went into muskets and blunderbusses and things of that nature, flintlocks, rather than lighting it with some sort of a match, or I'm not a match, but a torch or something, burning. They came and started using the flintlock. Okay, so this is one of those reasons why this gets even more bizarre. Between the 1200s and the 1500s, let's say, in that time frame, who could have brought it there? I mean, if you're going back that far, and we've had other things, as I said earlier, dated going back that far, who could have been responsible for bringing this there? And
in the 1200, I mean, okay, so back up your timeline. 1100s, we know the Vikings were in Newfoundland.
Yes.
Right. Doug Simmons has theorized that they could actually have been in and around Oak Island. I know other people that are working on theories that are going to put the Vikings in and around Nova Scotia, and maybe up even to the Bay of Fundy here in New Brunswick. So,
yep.
That's the 1100s. So after the 1100s, the Maritimes, basically Atlantic Canada, has been discovered.
Yeah.
Exactly. So who could have been here after that? I mean, anybody.
Right.
Portuguese is the one I think of. Portuguese and the Basque.
Yeah. But again, it just goes back to that same thing I've been saying over and over again about the multi-generational use of Oak Island and the people that, the original. I still believe the original depositors. This is my thinking. The original depositors were there back somewhere between the 12 and 1400s. The original depositors. Make of those who you wish, being the Templars, the Knights of Malta, the Knights of Christ. Go ahead, Seth.
I think the planning started as early as the Templars.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't even know it was going to be Oak Island, but the planning of, we need to get this as far from Europe, this being the religious artifacts that they got from Jerusalem, but as well as their wealth as well, right? Like they were smart guys. They had to have their betrayal by the Pope and the King took everyone by surprise. And we know that by the fact that a lot of them got away and were never seen again. Right. So I think the planning was certainly, and the depositing was multi-generational. I would love to think that there's Templars on Oak Island, but maybe not. But what happened on Oak Island was set in motion by the Templars for sure. And I feel like that web gets more and more stronger all the time. And I'm with you on that timeline. I'm in there too. I think the deposit happened super early, and then after that initial huge deposit, there was little deposits, and maybe some little vaults like we found in the road, just because it was a known place by these men and groups.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. But you talk to something else that Matt had said about this. He said, after they were talking about the use of a hand cannon and its time frame and all of that, he mentioned something about it being possibly used to, as an explosion device to break stone up. I don't know. I didn't really. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really grasp onto that one.
No. I wouldn't
It's
shoot
possible,
a gun
but
point blank at rock,
No,
especially in a tunnel. What you do is you take tannerite and you stuff it in a dead tree and you get a safe distance. And I'm kidding, but that's the only type of explosive that I would do. I wouldn't. Yeah, I just thought,
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be a fan of that. I mean, if you're going to have to drill a hole to put it in to begin with, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. To put it in there.
So,
Craig, thank you very much. Blown away.
You're containing your own explosion.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I just didn't, I mean, I understand using explosives to break rocks. I mean, they do that today. But they shove them down in there.
I mean, he just said could have been. And the thing that got me was he said could have been, but he didn't cite us with any examples of where they've done it.
Right. Yeah.
So I always come back to, how do you know? Well, you don't. And I mean, it's a possible, but it was kind of a reach for me.
Yeah, I thought that was a big reach. Yeah, I didn't buy into that one too much. But again, going back to that whole thing, this is a significant find, folks. It really truly is. I mean, this thing takes us back to that same old time frame when the stone road was built and the platform was built. All that time.
I don't care how it got there. It shows me that somebody was in this area somewhere between 1200 and 1500.
Right.
Period.
And they weren't natives.
You can speculate on who it was, where it was, why it was. It doesn't really matter. That thing didn't float across the Atlantic Ocean by itself. It came on something. And it came before 1500s.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay. Just responding to that. I tried the vertical and horizontal views that YouTube has available to us. We're getting ready to go to the giveaway, and that's why I'm taking a moment to talk about this. But the vertical and horizontal views, I thought I'd try it tonight to see if maybe the vertical view was easier for people to watch on their phones. Apparently it isn't. I won't do it again next week. It'll be back to normal, and we'll just move on.
And that's what I'm blaming my internet connectivity issues on.
You're blaming on me for doing that.
Thank you, Jeff. No, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. All right. So let's jump to our giveaway, shall we? YouTube showed 2 streams. Yes, I understand that. One was for the phone.
It did the same thing when Jake was doing it. You could log on to, depending on where and how you logged on to YouTube, you could watch the same show in 2 different spots. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I apologize for that. I wanted to give it a try because I just didn't. Not
Let
a
me
good
guess.
phone
You
view.
took a shot, right?
I took a shot and tried to see what it worked out, and it just did not. It didn't work out. So
took a shot and
we'll do that next week. Yeah. The shot blew up. All right, let's I'm gonna go through and explain the giveaway. Linda is here. She's with us tonight. She is a little bit under the weather. So I'm gonna explain this, and then she's gonna come on and do the spinaroo for us. Okay, so here for tonight's giveaway, Tony is giving this signed bag. This is one of the bags that the attendees got for, and the presenters also got for the Oak Island Con 2025 that happened in September. And he's doing that, a signed bag, and also one of his Salty Dog Sea Tour coffee mugs that he's giving away. Now, to be eligible for these, you need to be a member of our Facebook group page, The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. It is a link for it below. If you are not already a member of that group on Facebook, you can be. Click on the link and go through that process there. Linda will put up the picture for the giveaway. And then all you have to do as a post, all you have to do is comment on that post saying yes. That's all you have to do. Say yes as a comment, and then you will get put into the running for the giveaway. You must be present here at the podcast to win the giveaway. And so we'll give you about a minute or so to say you're here once we do the spin, and let us know if you're here. And also, if you have a different name on YouTube that you have in Facebook, please let Linda know, because we'll say people are here and the names don't match up, and it's hard for us to figure that out. So please let Linda know if you have a different name in each of them. So thank you, Colette, very much. I appreciate that. I see your super sticker there. Thank you for helping to support the podcast. I appreciate that. All right, Linda, how you doing? You're going to be able to?
I'm okay.
All right.
I don't have a lot of voice, and I can't talk very much without coughing your heads off and mine. So,
all right,
we're just gonna spin.
All right, thank you.
Spin that wheel.
All right.
Okay.
There it goes. All right. Again, a lot of names in there. I can't imagine the work you go through to put all you in there. My goodness. Jeff Signeri. All right. Jeff, are you out there tonight? I think he is. I thought I saw his name earlier. I don't know.
No, I hadn't seen Jeff.
I'm scrolling back to see if we see Jeff is normally here. He's been doing the Oak Island trivia stuff lately, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah, get better soon for sure. Yeah, Felinda. Not in the chat list. Uh-oh. We might have to respin. All right. We might have to respin, but anyway, so that's we're going to be, and if you weren't here earlier, we're going to give them a couple more seconds here. If you weren't here earlier, and I was talking about the fact that Oak Island 2026 is sold out. We've sold all the tickets we had put up for those. And, but if you would like to be on a wait list, send an email to either myself, to Linda, or to, myself, Lorraine, or Tony Sampson. You can get on a wait list. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that.
Hey, Robert.
And we'll get you on a wait list, and there may be some openings coming up there in the future. We'll see. So excited. Got my con tickets. All right, cool. Can't wait to meet everybody that has them. Go ahead.
I thought it was fun that Tony has written, "See you at Oak Island Con 2026 on the bag," and we couldn't use it until we were sure there was going to be an Oak Island Con 2026.
Yeah. Oh, Connie's going. Good. I'm glad to see you guys going. All right. We're going to have to spin again. Jeff's name finally comes up, and he's not here. Oh, my goodness.
Spin that wheel.
All right, here we go.
All right. He's going to be bummed that he missed that.
Oh.
John Larkin, are you here tonight? Gosh, we've been hitting it pretty lucky lately.
If he is, he's got a different kind of name. He's got an odd name.
John, let us know if you're here. Give us a shout. Oh, I'm here. He said John L.
John, yes.
Hey.
All right.
If you'll send me in a private message your address, I will get that to Lorraine. Your giveaway is coming from Canada, so just be aware that it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Normally, I can get stuff to people in about a week, but when it's coming internationally, sometimes it takes 2 weeks or even more. So be patient with us.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Linda. All right.
Yep.
Thank you for
putting better, Linda.
She is under the weather,
Linda.
and can't hardly talk without coughing, and she still had to be here and help us with that. So thank you so much.
And after the snowstorm we had here last night and today, we may have to send it by dog sled. So
yeah, we got about before the storm made it to you, we had about 3.5 inches here in western Pennsylvania. So that was interesting. I don't like to shovel snow anymore. I don't know how you feel about it, but are you done with winter already?
we're officially one day closer to spring. We'll leave it at that.
All right. Let's keep going. All right, let's go. Let's hop over to lot 5, shall we?
Let's go.
And we'll talk a little bit about the circle of stones that they found over there. And I have to. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I keep talking about how I feel that there is once they go from all the way from like lot 2, lot 1, or lot 3, all the way over to lot 9, if they were to scrape off that whole area and look, I bet that they would find little structures all over the place in that area. I just have that feeling. And here we are, they're out there metal detecting. Gary, when he sees this little rock formation, he's like, wow, this is just unusual. And there was that rock that was standing up. That's this one here. You see it from the other side. And so Marty comes over, and they're going to decide to they rope it off and do some archaeology here and start their troweling. And I had to capture this picture.
Yeah. The way he looks at it is like, how quaint.
I just had to save that picture. I thought it was so funny the way he's looking at it, going, really? But anyway, he said he knows nothing about that kind of stuff. But hey, what the heck? You would give it a try, right? So he does. He gets down there on the ground with everybody, and you see him back here on the other side of Tansy, and they start their work. This is the cool stuff. And I know that people have mentioned this before about how cool would it be to have a show watching a camera, watching them do their work. And everybody's like, man, that would be so cool. I'd watch it. But Laird is like, you don't want to watch that. You're going to watch hours and hours and hours of scraping dirt and finding nothing. But I don't know. I would still watch it probably.
I would have it on
as you were doing other stuff, probably.
Yeah. And every now and then, click it,
listen to the sounds,
check in and see what's happening.
Yep, I would. Yeah. I would tune in. I mean, it's the same thing. Look at people that are in the, they're in the chat are saying, "I would do it. I'd watch."
Oh, so yeah, I would. No different than them putting the camera up on the eagle's nest or osprey's nest, or
yeah.
Oh, exactly. Those are awesome.
You go back and check in every now and then just to see what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the cameras on Skinwalker Ranch. I log in there a lot of times, chat with the folks that are in there watching, and hang out while I'm doing something else, and I've got it on there, and I can see if the alien mothership lands on the mesa. But yeah, so anyway, here they are starting to work on it, and they're digging down, and look at these rocks showing up already. I mean, we've talked about this 100 times, Tom and I talking, and Seth talking about how there's rocks everywhere. They grow them in Nova Scotia in this area. But like this, I mean, this is a man-made pile, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. The big difference for me is you've got what I would call shore rocks mixed in with interior land rocks, let's call them. You go down around the shore, most of the stones and the rocks and things like that, they've got a smooth or a rounded texture to them. Yeah. When you get away from the shoreline, because they haven't been beat up by the weather and the ice and everything else, they become broken and sharp. And you've got a mixture there, which to me is not natural.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a good observation, Tom. I was seeing that, and Marty had made a comment about them having jagged edges or something, but not all of them do. Yeah, look at them. I mean,
so you get some rounded and some that aren't.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And this one that's standing up right here, I mean, like Seth was talking about last week about this could be a grave,
It
could be a gravestone.
It's a marker for something.
Yeah, I think so too. I really do. So they get digging down, they start pitching out all those small rocks. They get down to some of the bigger ones that are underneath. And of course they go and get the excavator because they need to get in there and remove these bigger stones and get them out of the way so they can look underneath it. So he gets the bigger trowel out. They get the stone moved out. And I noticed a couple of little features on this stone that they're picking up when they move it. They set it off to the side, and then here's the one that's left behind. This is the one that was standing up before. So this one here that you see right there is this one right here on the bottom of the screen is standing up, and it's got a hole in it.
Yep.
Or a indentation, we'll call it. And boy, they both do.
Because Laird referred to it as a split stone. Okay, so did they split the stone and just let half of it naturally fall into the hole, which created their marker? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the one that was in the dirt was actually a little bit under the one that was split away, the other big one. So I think you're right. I think that was split. I think those are the same stone split. Why would again, you go back to why. Did it happen years ago and it just fell over, or was it done on purpose?
We know that they split stones to move them. The pictures, from different places have been to show that they would use the chisel to split these rocks so that they can make them movable, right? But this wasn't for the purpose of making it movable, because it's being supported by other rocks around it.
Right.
So why they would do that, it's a marker. I agree with Laird 100%. It's a marker of some sort.
Yeah.
Purpose yet to be determined.
The orientation, yeah, Zeke, we're getting there in a second. East-west is what they were talking about. East-west orientation, which was pretty interesting to come up with. And then they, of course, talked about all of the Templars and how they had built their structures, all of their cathedrals and things that they built back in their time all had an east-west orientation, and this had an east-west orientation. Is that significant to the story? Is it just happenstance? I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean,
your guess is as good as mine. I mean, when it comes to the east-west and the esoteric part of this, it's over my head, but to people like John and those people that understand it, it makes perfect sense.
Yep. Yeah.
And I know we'll get there with like the 6 foot, it being 6 foot. Was he talking about the diameter of the circular structure up top, or is there a bigger circle feature that this rock is a part of? What exactly is 6 feet? I was kind of,
well, my thinking, and again, I'm not being there on the ground with them. I think they were talking, here to here.
Okay.
Okay.
And then that's what got Rick into the 72.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I could be wrong on that.
So we had a east-west orientation, big, huge rock, and then smaller rocks set up next to it to hold it up. People think it's a marker.
So were these rocks all the way around it, or just on each side? Well, was it surrounded by these smaller rocks?
I think so. It seemed like it was, because there were smaller rocks other than the one big one that was sitting right here.
Yeah.
These were all small rocks over here.
That's a fair amount of work. That's I mean, it's deliberate, but I mean, if you're going to go to that kind of work, that's really deliberate.
Yep. There were rocks surrounding the stone. It was circular, and it was 6 foot thing. Yeah. So 6 foot, maybe in all directions on it.
Okay. And we're looking at like a
6 foot
just cut down.
diameter or circumference.
So
diameter,
maybe this way too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Also
Full circle, 6 feet. Yep. Side to side. Yep.
And again, as you see Jake saying, that gets into that whole realm, the magic number 72. Yeah, Dave. I mean, I when I hear that kind of stuff, I try not to go, oh geez, how can they make that comparison? Because I know that I'm not as learned in all those things as you guys are. So I don't want to throw cold water on that for sure, because I don't know. But when you guys see the Jake and John and these guys see these things like that, it to them it means something, and you can't discard that. You can't throw it out. Because it could very well be very important.
For sure. Oh yeah, I would never ever discard it. These guys have done some serious research into this stuff. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Jake has proven me wrong in a lot of area, not wrong, but shown me a lot of interesting stuff and expanded my knowledge on this. But yeah, go ahead, Seth.
Well, I was just going to say it seems, like somewhat silly, I think, to us at times, like thinking of it from a modern person's perspective. But if you get in the mindset of these guys who are like deeply religious,
right,
on a mission for God, and they're going to put what they view as God's signature, whether it be numbers or little nods to certain masters. I think they're going to put it everywhere they can, just sort of as like that we were here, but also just to pass on in case anything happens. There has to be those clues, so that knowledge isn't.
It has to be recognizable to those that come behind you.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So someone comes up to this feature years later and instantly they see things that we just don't see, but
Right.
they'll, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I
And
used to
not only
think
that,
too, like, why would they constantly just ad nauseum, just, 72, here's our number. But it's,
right.
if you think like them, it's,
And it's important to them.
their religion.
Yes, exactly.
And,
It's important to them
and
because
they
of their
would
religion.
build things to a certain design.
Right.
mhm.
Yes.
That's how you know it's the one you're looking for.
Right. Yep. Now they did mention this stone wall. This was over on lot 26, and I was very, very interested in this stone wall when they found it. I mean, and here's one of those things that we talk about when they found it. They had seen this wall before. It just never stood out to say, "Oh, let's go investigate that wall." They knew it was there, but it never came out to.
Well,
So
stone walls are not uncommon. Like,
no,
as
exactly.
dividing lines, you cleared a field, you marking a boundary, you're
Mhm.
keeping livestock in, whatever. A stone
Yep.
wall is not uncommon.
Right. Now, this type of stone wall is a little bit interesting. And that's why they were talking about this, because it seemed like when you have your larger stones and then you have all the smaller stones thrown in the middle. So that's the way the stone wall in lot 26 was constructed. It was constructed with larger stones on the outside stacked and then rubble thrown in the middle and filled in this inside. So they were kind of angled like this, the outsides, and then you fill the center up with rubble and all the smaller rocks in the middle, and it held the wall together. And it made it very sturdy. And they said that this is the only wall on the island that's like this. They've seen other boundary walls, but not like this. So why this one? And I was mistaken earlier when I was talking about the charcoal that was found. I was talking about it being in the stone road, and I finally found it in my notes. It was this wall that they found. They did take a sample out of that. You see that oak back here? They did do a core sample out of that oak, and for the life of me, I can't remember what the dating was on that.
No, I can't either.
Let me read this from Stan. Has anyone mentioned Jane McQuiston's post 11 hours ago regarding the hand cannon? His take is it's almost certainly a plumb bob user in construction. Most certainly a plumb bob user in construction. Yes, used in construction. He goes on to explain why he thinks this. I don't know if I agree because it has that fire hole.
Initially, we thought it was the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
I agreed 100% with Jim.
Yep.
Okay. Now, the only thing that makes me not agree with Jim is what was that other pipe they had sitting on that table? That's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
That wasn't a plumb bob.
No. And it has that hole in the side.
It is a plumb bob. What's this other pipe for? I still don't. I hope they go back and tell us what that other pipe was about.
I do too. I think that I really like to know. Maybe we'll have to ask one of the guys on there, see if they'll tell us. But yeah, I don't know. Very interesting though. But I disagree. I'm sorry. I know what a plumb bob is. Used them before.
Yeah.
My dad, matter of fact, I have one that was my dad's.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And we've used them before. I know what they are and all that. And that I do not believe that was a plumb bob. And why was it hollow inside? Plumb bobs are generally solid.
It'd be a lot of work to make a hollow plumb bob when you can just use any old piece of metal, beat it to the right shape, and hang it.
Exactly.
But, I mean, it could be. I'd respectfully disagree with Jim on this one, I guess.
Yeah. I love Jim. I've had him on the show. Love his opinions, but I disagree with him on that. Anyway, I haven't seen that post, so I'll go check that post out before I get too much on it. To store string inside. Okay, maybe. I can't, that's one of those things where I can't throw it completely
I don't know.
out.
It could be. I'm not an expert.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to this wall thing, it was this wall where they found the charcoal. When they had taken a section right out of the middle of it, they cut out the section of it and looked at it, all of it, and dug down there to see what the makeup of it was and see if they could find anything in there they could use a date. They did find the charcoal, and the charcoal dated to 1474.
Wow. Right in that same time we were talking about.
Exactly. And could that hand cannon have showed up on the island in 1474? Yes, it could have. Now, the date of the charcoal being 1474 doesn't mean that's the date it was in the wall, right?
Correct.
All right. But again, you go back to those old dates. Is it possible that this, hand cannon could have shown up, or plumb bob, as Jim says, could have shown up on the island around the same time? I think it's very likely it could have.
Mm-hmm.
Very likely. So was this a thing that they're working on now a wall? Well, we'll find out as they go through this excavation with the archaeology team a little bit more as we go along. I hope that's not the last we see of it, unless they have determined that by the time we get to the next couple weeks shows that there's nothing there of significance. They'll just cover it up and move on. But whatever it is, that's definitely a man-made pile of stones for whatever reason. So, but interesting nonetheless on the whole thing. Yeah. And here's, Tom put this together looking at the makeup of the two. Very similar.
Yep. You got the sharp stones and the rounded stones.
Yeah. I was kind of curious too, was lot 26. I'm going to look at something real quick. Hold on a second. I meant to look at and try to see if I could find this earlier.
And when you're looking that up, one thing just popped into my mind with all this hand cannon stuff in the 1400 dates. Doesn't that throw Jeff Irving's theory back into the pile again?
Yeah, it kind of does.
The Christopher Columbus theory that was ranked number 2 or 3 here a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that puts him back in the mix, doesn't it?
It sure does. Okay, I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to get this. What I was trying to see if I could find was lot. They're on lot 5. Is lot 26 straight across from lot 5?
Hang on, I can tell you.
That's what I wanted to see, because that wall's on.
No, lot 24 would be directly across from lot 5.
All right.
Lot 26 is across from lot 7.
All right, that throws that out. I was thinking about that wall. There you go. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, lot
a little
6,
sandball map. Surprise.
Yeah, that was what I got thinking about there for a second. Was, gee, if that was an extension of the wall at one time, they took all the stones out of there for some reason, and but yeah, if it's different lots, and I doubt it was. All right, just one of my wacky thoughts that I had there. All right, let's go. Keep going here. So there you see Rick. Rick's checking out that hole and stuff in there, and looking at the fact that those may have been part of the same stone at one time. Interesting to see that going on. Oh, there's another picture of all them stones piled in there. See, inside the big stone.
That's very deliberate. If those are circular all the way around that particular thing, I mean, that's, as Jake says, not every symbol means something, but they were built to a certain design. So
yeah. Yep. They go and get a hold of Terry Matheson. Terry comes out. Terry's going to be one of the presenters at Oak Island Con 2026 too, and he may sing a song for us.
I was going to ask, is he going to sing a song?
Let's just do that. Yeah.
Take it to the bedrock one more time.
Yeah, I know, right? So he'll be there. It'll be interesting. Love that guy. He's really a nice. Yeah, all of them are so nice. Every one of them. Anyway, he comes out and he's got his chipping hammer. When this was when it was mentioned about the 6 feet 72 inches, and you saw Rick go, huh?
Yeah.
Had to grab that picture because right off the bat, he's thinking about that kind of stuff. Because of the researchers like John Edwards. Then they did the little flashback to John when he was there, and he was talking about. Yep. John's a friend of the show, and he used to co-host with me. But he was talking here about the whole thing about the cross, the Nolan's cross, and how it was a division of 72 all the way around. So 72 being a very important number to the Templar order. And that's where it says right there. The Latin rule was documented 72 clauses attributed to Bernard de Clairvaux and Hugh de Paynes. It was also the specific behavior of the Templar order. So, yeah. So 72 was very, very important to the Templars. So why would things not be in that kind of a realm? But now, and we've talked about this before, the metric system, they were big, they were doing inches and feet and all that back.
Oh yeah. Metric
Back
system
then.
wasn't until like, I don't know,
So
1800s, 1900s, something like
yeah.
that. That was
So yeah,
way before metric. Yep.
So 72 inches, 6 feet would have been a point for them.
Mhm.
So, and do we know that rock feature wasn't done by Robert
Mr.
Young?
Young? Yeah.
I don't think so because of the way it was buried. And
I think it's too deep. I think it's too deep. I
Yeah.
think Robert's stuff was more on the surface. So
Yeah. So, because I know some people had mentioned, oh, maybe Robert Young had done that. Well, I don't think so. I think it was too well
when I first saw it,
overgrown.
I saw the circle of rocks on the top, same as a 13-foot circle in the other part of lot 5, the circular structure. But then when you see it get deeper, I don't know if he was into doing that much work to throw
No.
people off.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he had anything to do with it. Yeah. Rita, wasn't that the big boulder? No, this wasn't the big boulder. That's on lot 8. The big boulder, if that's what you guys are referring to there. That's on lot 8.
That's lot 8, yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I think if you scraped off from lot 3 all the way to lot 9, I think if you were housing that many, I said this last week, I know. If you were housing that many people that were doing the work on Oak Island, you're going to need more than just one little building for them to do any kind of work on. So just that's my opinion on it all. Next time on the Curse of Oak Island, water sampling continues. Ian Spooner. Something that Ian said on here, if you watch this, and I put the little video out as next time I put it out on YouTube so people can watch it. But he talks about this water sampling, and he says the water sampling showing gold in the water is coming from the solution channel this time.
Mm-hmm.
Before they were, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom or Seth or anyone in the chat, but wasn't the water samples, they were not taken from the solution channel. They were taken from other water that's down below. But
they took water samples from all over the island. I remember going back and look at the old diagram he did from several years ago, and they had them from like all over the Money Pit and different places. So how deep these ones are, I think these ones right by the right by the garden shaft are at Solutions Channel depth. I think they're all on that 200-foot range. If you go back and look at the map of the 200-foot holes that Steve had mapped out, I think some of them are going to be down in that area.
Yeah. And I've got that picture too. Let's show that real quick while we're at it. What? Yeah, it was the next one. Sorry. Yeah, right here. So these here you see in the bottom right here, if you could see my mouse on there, right across, good spot for a pallet. Right above here, you see these little cones right here. These are some of those pipes sticking out that were in that baby blob-ish area.
Yep.
And
They've kept them there. They've kept them there, and we guessed they were continuing to test. But I mean, if you look at Lorraine's photo from last weekend, or no, not last weekend, but a few weekends ago, if you look at how much of those tubes are sticking out of the ground there, compared to what they are on Lorraine's photo, right? I don't think they cut them off. I think they just brought the level of the ground on the.
It seemed to have. It seems to be a lot higher than it was by a foot or more.
Yep.
Yeah. So you see how much that pipe's sticking out right there, and then over
not
here,
anymore.
Yeah. And over here, the cone is sitting on top of the pipe.
Yeah, the cone's not even touching the ground, and that's probably an 18 or 24-inch cone, I would imagine.
Yep.
Or more.
Yep.
So, yeah, good spot for a pallet, I'd say.
Yeah, right here, this one. So yeah, they're keeping those in the water, and I, like Tom said, those are quite possibly going all the way down into the solution channel. And that's, remember, this is also that area where he heard that collapse,
Yeah.
the rumbling
Mm-hmm.
going on down below. But that's significant, folks. And it ties in with exactly, and we'll get more on this story next week, of course, when we see episode number 6 come out. But going back to what Marty had said earlier about the possibility that he believes, or the good plausibility that the treasure vault had gotten pushed down in the collapses that have taken place, and now in the solution channel.
Mm-hmm.
And now you say, well, the solution channel is showing samples of gold and silver in the water. So that adds more plausibility to what Marty was saying all along. That
the other thing he says too in the promo, I don't know, it was the one they did last night at the end of the show, or the other promo they have out now.
Mm-hmm.
But Dr. Spooner says, and I don't know what he said, the mineral or the gold or whatever he says, not naturally occurring.
Yes. Yeah. The metals we are seeing in the water are in the solution channel and not natural levels, I guess, would be the beyond natural levels. I think I will get more definition on it.
Yeah.
That's pretty significant. Welcome back, Seth.
Well, thank you. What'd I miss?
Not a whole lot. Just Jeff talking too much. Then they find this little piece here. This was, I think we saw this in the Maddie Blake special, did we not? See something about this? Was the compass?
Oh, yes.
They were showing this picture. So they find this, and I'm not sure exactly where
block 25 or 26 or something, didn't they? Or...
Yeah, something like that. Yep. And then they talked about this compass on here, which was cool. So again, and then they made a comment about the fact
lot 15, I think. Lot 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were talking about the fact that if a person would need that compass, if they were being able to map out the Nolan's Cross, and he has said they still have to be there because of those levels. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the thing that has kept me going with it too, because my theory for a long time was that in going back to the depositors back between 1200 and 1400 sometime frame would be the depositors, and the people that came in the 1600s are the ones that took it out and removed it and took the treasure and took it to North America to use for the or took it to use it for the American Revolution. That was what I kind of believed, that it was gone. But with Ian being so positive about these water samples and what they're finding in there, got to follow the science, right? I mean, we've talked about that before.
Did gold?
Oh, now we lost Tom. Boy, we're losing everybody tonight. Did gold what? You said did gold, and then you...
There was gold in that piece. Ben from...
Go ahead. What? I don't know. I'm not sure what he was saying, but anyway, if he's talking about this bottle, these bottles were July 2nd, and there was water in there, or gold in there. Wrap it up. Yep, let's wrap it up. All right. So the compass, and then they said that you would need the compass to help mark out that. I think that was kind of a stretch. I think they often do is more speculating on the Curse of Oak Island than we do on the podcast here. Quite often.
I don't know about that. That's pretty hard. On some things, yeah.
You were saying something about gold on a label or gold on something. Oh, you're froze again. Oh, yeah, you're gone again. Then it was this portion
Emma
here
said, "I detect gold."
Yeah. As we digress. All right, so they were talking about this. They were showing here in the swamp, the work that was going on in the swamp, and something that Rick had said, talking about the road. He said the road leads all the way from the beach to the money pit. And I was like, whoa, he is running off on a stretch on that one. So we'll have to see what that's all about. Going from the beach to the money pit. So are they following another path? And again, we're talking about a path going up the western side of the swamp. They already know about the path on the eastern side. I don't know. And lastly, back to the money pit. And Marty is, still believing. And this was actually, they showed him looking at this on the first preview. Then there was another preview where you can actually hear the pinpointer going off. And then he finds something. He goes, oh, it's right here. And so there's something in there that's going on. Now, is it another broken piece of a drill bit? We don't know yet at this point what it is. He said, come on, baby. Could be a coin. Is it a coin? We will find out next week. So hopefully, it's always good for them to do these kind of edits like this to try to, pump up more viewership for the coming episodes. So stay tuned. Right, Linda. Thank you. Stay tuned. So we'll see what they found, but that's a couple weeks in a row now where they're finding something in the coming up in the borehole work. So we'll see what that turns out to be. All right. Well, that's what we got for you here tonight, folks. Tom says thank you for joining us, and Seth is probably frozen. And Seth says thank you for joining us tonight. And I say thank you somehow. There he is. Now you're moving again. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Well, we've had a really good time tonight going over all this episode number 5. So we thank you all for being here with us tonight. We appreciate it very much. And if you like the content of the show we did here for you tonight, consider giving us a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Let your friends know. If they get tired of watching Oak Island, just watch us instead. We'll go through the whole episode for them and cover everything. Oh, there's Tom back. Tom, we're signing off and saying goodnight.
See ya.
Back just in time. Yeah, all right. Thank you, everybody.
The whole
again.
internet, the whole house crashed.
Oh my gosh, the whole house crashed. Well,
so this is not your fault, Jeff. We can blame Seth's stuff on you, but we can't blame this on you.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you very much.
We're back.
All right, and we'll catch you next time right here on the J Free 906 podcast. Good night.
Yes, we will.